Miami Riptide visit the Sharks in the first game of the late slot window. We start off with Jim, not Chris Everett, throwing it down the right side to speedy receiver Fred Barnett, dives to make the catch, and Jerome Bettis, the bus, showing off the wheels, going up the middle into the red zone, and Tim Lester vultures off of him for the touchdown. Don the Magic Man Mikowski waits in the pocket. He gets pressure in his face. He's intercepted by Chuck Cecil, and Chuck Cecil bums his way into the red zone. This would lead to a John Casey made field goal. It's a 10-point ball game. Don the Magic Man Mikowski, he's got to pull a rabbit out of his hat. He pulls James Jett out of his hat, and Dave Meggett buns the ball in for the touchdown. Jim Everett makes a mistake here, throwing an interception to Kevin Ross, and this would lead to a Gary Anderson made field goal. The score is tied up 10 apiece. Tim Lester gets more involved in this game as he's gotten most of his carries in this game as the fullback, gets the ball to around the 40-yard line, but Jim Everett gets sacked by Darryl Talley. This would lead to a field goal make by John Casey. Down by 3, Don the Magic Man Mikowski's got to come back in the game. He throws the ball deep to Dave Meggett, but the ball is intercepted by Brian Washington, and that would retire the side. Tim Lester would get the ball up the middle. Get off me, as he makes it into Sharks territory. It's looking good for the Miami Riptide with this field goal by John Casey. 6-point lead. Don the Magic Man Mikowski, he's got to pull a rabbit out of his hat. He pulls James Jett out of his hat again to the 40-yard line, and Mikowski waits in the pocket, gets pressure in his face. He's intercepted again by Henry Jones. It's the hat trick for the Miami Riptide. Jim, don't call me Chris Everett, scans the field, throws it deep down the right side. His speedy receiver, Fred Barnett, making it inside the 10-yard line, and the bus gets the ball in for the touchdown. Last-ditch effort for the Sharks. Don the Magic Man Mikowski throws the ball wildly out of bounds. The Riptide would add a touchdown and they would win by 20 points. They are 3-1. The Sharks are down at 1-3. Portland Snowhawks are trying to get their third win of the season. New Orleans is supposed to try to get their head above water. Emmitt Smith gets the ball first, the Hall of Famer, to around the 25. This would lead to a field goal make by Aldel Greco. Ernest Givens, all the Givens he could get, would get the catch from former Cowboys Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman, and Eddie Murray would lead for the field goal after the drive stalled. The Tigers would find themselves back in Portland Snowhawks territory, and Derek Russell would find himself with the ball as he splits the defense, and then Frank Reich with the play-action rollout bootleg, throwing it over the middle to Derek Russell. He's got the touchdown. It's a 7-point ball game. Troy Aikman trying to come back in this game, throws it deep to Alvin Harper, who was part of that Cowboys dynasty as well. There are a lot of Cowboys in here. And Ernest Givens, all the Givens he could get with the post over the middle twice for the touchdown. The game is all tied up. The Snowhawks would find themselves with the ball back in this offensive contest. Alvin Harper would find himself diving for the catch. And then Troy Aikman over the middle to Ernest Givens, all the Givens he could get inside the 3, and Alvin Harper would get that button hook catch for the touchdown. Down 7, Frank Reich's got to come back. He's the comeback kid, gives it to Emmitt Smith over the middle, close to the 50, and then Emmitt Smith would take the handoff, whooping around defenders, making it inside the 14, and Tommy Vardell would vulture off that for the touchdown. Troy Aikman would throw it over the middle to Ernest Givens, all the Givens he could get, but he would make a mistake here, throwing an interception to Ricky Reynolds. And then the comeback kid, Frank Reich, said, "I get what I get, and I'm never upset," throwing it deep down the right side to his favorite receiver, Anthony Miller. This would lead to yet another Aldel Greco field goal. Frank Reich would find himself with the ball again at the 50-yard line. Anthony Miller would find himself waving goodbye to Snowhawks defenders. 4th down, Eric Pegram would go for the run. They're already going for it. The chain gang comes up, and it's a turnover on downs. Tigers take over, and Frank Reich would throw it down the right side. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow, giving it to Anthony Miller, open in the end zone. And both teams are 2-2 after the Tigers win 41-17.
Two good football teams meet in Los Angeles, the Phoenix Scorpions and the Los Angeles Stars. Chris Callaway and Willie Green return to the football game here today. Steve Bono's numbers have been terrific. 7 touchdowns to 3 interceptions for the quarterback this year. And early in the first quarter, he launches to Callaway in the end zone, and it's reeled in for a touchdown. Big play here by Callaway of Los Angeles. That is his first touchdown grab of the season. And in a game between two powerhouses, it wouldn't be long before there'd be a response in this one, and that's Los Angeles to tie the game. Chris Callaway would go down with a critical injury, but they have so much firepower that it almost doesn't even matter. Tim Brown, Mark Johnson, tight end carry Cash too, and the game tied at 7. Here comes Lewis with a big passing play, and that leads to this field goal through the uprights from Morton Anderson to give them the lead. He is 5 for 7 on field goals this season. It's 10-7. Deep ball here to Henry Ellard, who has been a home run threat for Phil Simms and the Los Angeles offense this season. Then he checks it down to Keith Byers to keep the drive going. And in a terrific football game, would be tied yet again. It's David Treadwell with the field goal. We're locked up 10 apiece. 6:09 left to go in the first half. Another long ball, this to Cash, and for some reason the defense didn't see him as he catches the long ball and Cash is in the end zone. It's 17-10. Under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Bono, he's only completed 45% of his throws. That one was complete to the wrong team, and Simms converts as he tosses the touchdown, his 12th of the year, to tie the game at 17. Into the third quarter now. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, would get involved with a diving grab here. And then from Bobby Humphrey, he finds the end zone for the 5th time in as many games. And it's 24-17. Star power across the field on both sides. And for Los Angeles, 4-0 on the year. Well, this wouldn't be long before they tied yet again. This was what made them undefeated. So many incredible late game comebacks. Simms to Irvin, and they would combine for a huge play, which would be capped by a touchdown to Keith Byers. And if you thought that that was enough offense for a football game, well, you'd be wrong. After a fumble here, Simms and the offense up by 7. They get it going yet again on the ground. This on the catch from Bobby Humphrey leads to another David Treadwell field goal, and our score is 34-24 with just about 3 minutes to go in the game. Big passing play here to Lewis to the midfield line. And they've got to score, otherwise the game is over. Instead, Bono throws an interception to Deion Sanders. Los Angeles keeps their unbeaten streak alive with an 18-point win over the Scorpions.
Dallas Rattlers battled the Seattle Storm. Coming back from injury is Lorenzo White after a few weeks. We start off with Bernie Kosar waiting in the pocket, throwing it down the field to Rodney Holman, who would have a great game, by the way, getting it into the red zone. Bernie Kosar would throw it in the middle of the end zone at the end zone line to Rodney Holman as he gets the touchdown. First drive for running Randall Cunningham as he runs inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone, and he would take the left sweep again as he runs into the end zone for the touchdown. Game is tied. Bernie Kosar with the play action rollout bootleg. Throws it down the right side to Curtis Duncan, and he dunks it in for the touchdown. It's a 7-point ball game. Randall Cunningham runs out of the pocket again. He's showing off the wheels and his speed for the touchdown. The game is tied. Celebrate there, Randall. Bernie Kosar waits in the pocket. Nobody in his face, throwing it over the middle to Holman again. Now in the red zone, Bernie Kosar throws it over the middle to Holman in the end zone at the goal line. Second touchdown of the game. Randall Cunningham, he's getting upset here, throwing it to Terry Kirby, who sucks it up, falls down, gets up, and then gets inside the red zone. But Randall Cunningham would get sacked here by Jerry Ball. And Jim Breach, he would breach the goalpost. 4-point game for the Rattlers. Rodney Hampton would take the handoff down the left side. He goes whoop, and he shows off his speed, getting it past the 50-yard line. But Bernie Kosar wasn't done yet. Rodney Holman would catch the ball on the post, and he get the touchdown. He's got a hat trick. Randall Cunningham would run out of the pocket. He's down 11 points and he needs to get a score in the third quarter. This would lead to yet another Jim breaches the goalpost field goal after the drive stalls. Randall Cunningham would get the ball back. He throws it down the left side to Hayward. Jeffries getting by the safety. He has the touchdown. 4-point game, onside kick, and the Rattlers recover it. And then Bernie Kosar would play action, roll out, bootleg, throwing it to John Vaughn in the flats. He's got the touchdown, and that just seems like an unbreakable lead as Seattle loses 34-45, and both teams are 2-2. Denver Buffaloes and Boise Colts to round out the last part of the late games as Ron Wolfley, he gets the pass down the left side from Bobby Hebert. Bobby Hebert inside Boise territory gives it to Ron Wolfley again, and he gets into the red zone. This would lead to Bobby Hebert saying, "I'm going to do this myself." He gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. First drive for the Boise Colts here. Jeff Hostetler whoops around defenders, making it into Denver territory. He sits back, holds the ball, no pressure in his face. He gives it to Sticky Icky Woods, and he gets it inside the 10-yard line, and Icky Woods does the Icky shuffle in the end zone. Next drive for the Buffaloes, throwing it down the left side, Bobby Hebert to Ron Wolfley, getting it inside the 5-yard line. This would lead to a made Fuad Ravitz field goal. It's a 3-point ball game. Colts with the ball next. Webster Slaughter gets the ball down the left side, and Sergeant Slaughter slaughters the defense for the touchdown. 4-point lead for the Colts. Ron Wolfley gets the ball over the middle. He gets tackled, and he gets injured. He would be replaced by Gerald McNeil as the running back position is thin for the Buffaloes. Next drive for Hostetler, the play-action rollout bootleg. Sergeant Slaughter over the middle. He whoops around defenders, getting it inside the 30-yard line. And Jeff Hostetler, he won the Super Bowl with the Giants as Ben Winter Coates catches the ball over the middle. And Icky Woods does the Icky shuffle in the end zone. Lewis Tillman with the handoff over the middle. He splits the defense, getting it past the 50-yard line. And Bobby Hebert backs up. He throws it over to Gerald McNeil with his first catch of the season. This would lead to a made Fuad Ravitz field goal. It's an 8-point ball game. Jeff Hostetler, he gives it over to Herman Moore down the right side, but it's intercepted by Darryl Green, the Hall of Famer. And then Willie Davis gets the pass down the right side from Bobby Hebert, and he is tackled at the 1-yard line, but Bobby Hebert gets sacked. It's a fumble! Recovered by Mike Singletary, and Mike Singletary makes a dirty stiff arm, giving the ball back to the Colts, but the Colts punt it back, and the Buffaloes get another shot. Eric Martin down the left side for the first down. Last-ditch effort for Bobby Hebert. His pass is incomplete over the middle, and Boise beats Denver 21-13. Colts are 3-1. Buffaloes are 1-3.